But first, the results of our big poll this evening. Has Arvind Kejriwal's Dharna in the heart of Delhi affected how people view the Aam Aadmi Party? Or is there public opposition to the manner in which the Delhi Law Minister Somnath Bharti tried to get the police to raid Ugandan nationals who are apparently part of a drug and prostitution rackets? First, the results, and the first question that we asked: how do you rate Arvind Kejriwal's performance as the Chief Minister of Delhi? In Delhi itself, 39% of people felt that his performance was good. In Bangalore, 48%, and in Mumbai, 45%. Now, I should say that there were a few people who felt that his performance was very good, but that number significantly lower, 19% in Delhi. 19% in Delhi, 28% in Delhi. So by and large, people in Delhi say that he's done a good job, but it's not above that 50% mark which he would hope for. But in Bangalore and Mumbai, substantially over 40% of people who were asked to rate Arvind Kejriwal's performance as the Chief Minister of Delhi say that he's done a very good job. The second question that we asked: do you think it was correct for Kejriwal to do his dharna, to hold his dharna, his protest at the Rail Bhavan? Now, the results we have of this are that 51% in Delhi and 51% in Bangalore say that it was appropriate, it was correct for Arvind Kejriwal to go ahead with that massive protest at Rail Bhavan. 58% in Mumbai say that he should indeed have gone ahead and done that. The overall percentage, 53% across Delhi, Bangalore and Mumbai. It's a relatively small sample that we have. The sample size is about 1,000, a little more than 1,000 people have been asked across these cities. The agency doing this is Hansa Research. The questions which we are looking at are fairly specific. We believe this is a reasonably accurate view, a snapshot of how people feel right now. All right, let's move on quickly to the third question. Between Sheila Dikshit of the Congress, Dr. Harshvardhan of the Bharatiya Janata Party and Arvind Kejriwal of the Aam Aadmi Party, who would make the best Chief Minister of Delhi? Now, the NDTV poll in 3 metros says 59% say Kejriwal is the best. Now, those are the numbers. 63% in Delhi say that Kejriwal is the best, 50% in Bangalore, 62% in Mumbai, and overall 59% say that Kejriwal should indeed, is indeed the best choice of Chief Minister for Delhi among those who are being considered. The next question: the Delhi police is under the central government. In your opinion, should the Delhi police be used under the Delhi government or should it remain under the central government? Let's take a look at the numbers. Now, this is what is interesting, because on the one hand, there seems to be, by and large, an acceptance of what Arvind Kejriwal is doing, an acceptance of the protest that he's done, but his primary demand has been that the Delhi police should come under the control of the Delhi government. But most people across Delhi, Bangalore and Mumbai feel no. In fact, the Delhi police should be under the central government. It should remain under the central government. 56% in Delhi say that it should remain under under the central government, the centre. 50% in Bangalore, 42% in Mumbai. So, in a sense, the primary objective of Arvind Kejriwal seems to have been defeated in terms of public sentiment as far as this limited poll is concerned. And finally, if assembly elections were to be held in Delhi again, who will you vote for? We asked people in Bangalore that if they lived in Delhi, who would they vote for? In Mumbai, if they lived in Delhi, who would they vote for? Well, again, the Aam Aadmi Party comes up tops in a fairly resounding manner. 57% of people in Delhi say that they will vote for the Aam Aadmi Party, 59% in Bangalore and 31% in Mumbai. So a difference over here. Mumbai, it comes down a bit less. 31% in Mumbai believe that Kejriwal should have been the Chief Minister. But as far as the BJP is concerned, 30% believe that in fact, if the assembly elections were to be held again, they would vote for the BJP. So the difference in Mumbai between the BJP and the Aam Aadmi Party is just 1. So 31% believe that it should be the Aam Aadmi Party, 30% believe it is the BJP, and this is interesting, the Congress, 32% in Mumbai believe it should be the Congress which should in fact be number one if elections were held in Delhi. It's a moot question because people in Mumbai won't be voting about what's happening over here, but the Aam Aadmi Party, as far as Delhi's voters are concerned, 57% of people in Delhi feel they'll vote for the Aam Aadmi Party again. Well, let me go straight to my panelists this evening to take a look and debate the results of this poll. Prashant Bhushan, National Executive Member of the Aam Aadmi Party, Ragini Naik, spokesperson of the Congress, Pinky Anand, spokesperson of the BJP. Thank you for joining us. Mr. Bhushan, 39% of people in Delhi felt that Arvind Kejriwal's performance as Chief Minister was good. Would that be perhaps lower than what you had expected and perhaps a reflection of what's happened recently, where there has been criticism for right or for wrong on what he's been doing, whether it's Khirki Gaon or the protests outside Rail Bhavan?
Well, I don't think that your poll is particularly accurate because, as you yourself said, it's a very small sample. I don't know how randomized this sample is. It's showing rather fluctuating and surprising results across the board. I can tell you that several other media organizations have done polls on in Delhi about what people feel about these protests that were done, and I think on an average about 75 to 80% people approved of these protests. The other polls also showed that an overwhelming majority also felt that the Delhi police should be brought, that Delhi should be conferred full statehood, which means that the Delhi police should also be brought under the Delhi government.
No, so I'll discuss those points
so
in a while, Mr. Bhushan.
I don't go much by
I'll discuss the specific points you're raising because they get reflected in the other questions that we've asked. I'm just talking about Arvind Kejriwal's performance as Chief Minister of Delhi. Assuming that this is accurate, we have reason to believe it is. Is that number of 39% for people in Delhi somewhat of a surprise? Do you believe that more people, in your estimation, would have favoured Arvind Kejriwal, or do you believe the honeymoon period, as your critics say, is indeed over, as far as Kejriwal is concerned?
No, in my view, it's a huge surprise. I think an overwhelming majority of the people in Delhi approve of Arvind Kejriwal's performance as the Chief Minister. That's the perception that I have at any rate, and that's the perception that seems to be shared by most people that I have met.
Okay.
By and large, people approve of that. Therefore, I am certainly surprised by your result. I don't know how your poll has been done.
Okay. Pinky, 39% still say that Kejriwal has done a good job in Delhi. It is by far and ahead the largest single number for a person. Does this reflect that people feel that despite his activist brand of politics and governance, he is still the popular choice?
39% first of all doesn't reflect that by any standards. Good as compared to the support that Mr. Kejriwal was getting when the elections did happen, just shows that the hype has come down, that the balloon has burst, the bubble has burst. But of course, it takes sometimes people some time to realize what is still happening, and for them to actually acknowledge the fact that even though they may have voted for the Aam Aadmi Party, today it is a non-starter and the performance has been totally one of havoc and unrest. I don't think, Vishnu, is speaking to people across board, that anybody today really thinks, shouldn't say anybody, but a majority of people would even consider that Aam Aadmi Party has shown any system of governance to justify the acceptance of Mr. Kejriwal there as the choice for Delhi. On the contrary, I think everybody is extremely disillusioned with the performances right from the beginning up till now.
Ragini, if we just look at Bangalore and Mumbai, the numbers seem to be substantially higher in terms of acceptance of Arvind Kejriwal's performance as Chief Minister. 48% of people in Bangalore say that he's doing a good job. 45% in Bombay say he's doing a good job. Given the fact that he will be that the Aam Aadmi Party will be contesting in a few months at the national level, perhaps Kejriwal himself will have a very significant role to play in that. Everybody expects that to be the case. Do you believe that whatever has happened in Delhi, the way it's been reported, doesn't reflect upon people in the other cities?
Vishnu, I think it will be only fair to take opinion polls and surveys with a pinch of salt, because more often than not we've seen that the best of the statistical tools have floundered, and the best of the logically derived data has been proven wrong. But going by your survey, I would say that first of all, the demography and the landscape of these metropolitan cities, and also the divergent opinions that people hold in these cities, would make me say this, that any kind of sample size would not be truly representative. But if you want me to analyze this, I would give it a different kind of a reading. I would say that the disaffiliation, the disconnect and the disinclination of the Aam Aadmi with the Aam Aadmi Party has been a bit underplayed in the results of your surveys. I think that a drift has started, and this drift is taking the common person, the common people, away from the Aam Aadmi Party. The people have started questioning the intent, the experience, the competence of the Aam Aadmi Party, the governance deficit on the one hand, and on the other, the unconstitutional and illegal actions that have been committed recently. So I would rather say that the vast support base that the Aam Aadmi Party had before the recently held Delhi elections, and even when this was not a political party during the Anna Andolan, the vast sympathy that the people had towards this party seems to be on a decline, seems to be diminishing and getting diluted at this point in time. So this is a great cause of concern for the Aam Aadmi Party.
That, Ragini, is not necessarily what the polls seem to reflect at all. The second question we asked, do you think it's correct for Arvind Kejriwal to do the dharna, to have done the dharna or protest at Railway Bhavan? 51% of Delhi says yes, he was fully entitled to do that. 51% in Bangalore, 58% in Mumbai. Therefore, the brand of politics of Arvind Kejriwal, clearly unconventional, seems to have found some sort of mark with voters or people in the city. Ragini?
Yeah, I mean, going by your analysis, I can see, I think there's a larger question that needs to be asked and answered. I would concede to the fact that Mr. Arvind Kejriwal has very successfully created a perception that he is going to bring about a new kind of politics. He's going to write a new narrative of politics, and he's probably going to redefine democracy. But my understanding would be that this 51% out of the 2,000 people that you've asked the question,
it's less than 2,000, but go ahead. Yes,
necessarily reflect. That was the
right,
figure which was given to me. But in any case, I wouldn't say that this would truly represent the mood of the people. I mean, there were various surveys being done during the recently held protest, the Dharna, which was actually not just a chaos and mayhem. People were saying that they were facing inconvenience. People were saying that the life had come to a standstill in Delhi. There were serious objections raised on this, and we have delved deeply into the legality of this entire affair as well.
No, so Ragini, let me put this in fact across to Prashant Bhushan.
That this is
because Ragini mentions the point that this has been debated, the manner in which these protests were held. Despite that, Mr. Bhushan, these results seem to suggest that there is a disconnect between the argument that there was Section 144 there, these protests shouldn't have been held, it's happening just a few days before Republic Day. Right, so there is a disconnect between those arguments and the sensibilities of people in Delhi who feel that if there had to be a protest, there had to be a protest, and therefore he was fully entitled to hold that protest wherever he wanted. So this in a sense strongly endorses what he's been saying all along.
Yes, actually this argument that is being put forward by the Congress and the BJP, that because Section 144 was in force, therefore this protest should not have been held, because Republic Day was in the offing, therefore this protest should not have been held. This argument is not an argument which cuts any ice with the people, because people understand that today the system has become so bad, the police functioning has been so lawless, uncaring, cruel, etc., that unconventional methods have to be resorted to force these issues of police accountability as well as of bringing the police to whatever extent under the jurisdiction of the Delhi government, providing proper accountability for the police and shifting the jurisdiction from the central government to the state government. Therefore, these issues resonate with the people very loudly. And I don't think that there are more than 10% people in any part of this country who would buy the argument that just because section 144 is enforced, which has been enforced continuously for the last 15 years in all of central Delhi by the police, which is totally unconstitutional. The Supreme Court has said that protest is a fundamental right of people, that you cannot impose continuously section 144 except as an emergency measure.
Yes.
In these circumstances, nobody is going to buy the argument that just because section 144 was enforced, therefore people should not have protested in this manner. All peaceful protests for causes which are perceived to be just and right are applauded by the people,
Okay.
and this is what has happened.
Okay.